Chapter 6 of Our Bones the Hills. And so we leave Einartoft. Sorry if there's any little discontinuities or anything. I had to redo that entire last fight when I loaded my save today, because apparently it didn't save after that automatically. So, slightly different people might be available for promotions or something like that. That's about it, though, I'm sure. So now we're chasing after a mender, but like a more superior version of a mender, which is interesting, because the mender we have right now is pretty damn effective. We lost 4 fighters just now. An old man sits astride an overgrown portion of the trail. You lost? You ask? He adjusts the leather strap on his head and says, "No, are you?" He jumps up and shuffles towards the caravan, his tattered clothes revealing no weapons. "Well, I've seen better," the old man says, peering into the supply wagons, "but I'll join you." He stands next to a fighter, throws his beard over his shoulder, and puffs up his chest. The fighter grins, and the stranger exhales, asking, "What are we waiting for? Lead the way!" Throws his beard over his shoulder. That is a significant beard, alright. I've got too many mouths to feed. I'm not going to turn a person away, one person, when we have like 500 or 600 people-ish. Yeah. Although we have no supplies, which is obviously a concern. After that battle, it just threw me out with 0... Yeah, we finished that battle and it just threw me out of town with 0 ability to buy supplies or make decisions, which is a little rough. Although we don't really have that much renown to spend on supplies. Who are you and what are you doing out here? "Call me Unar, or anything else you'd like," the old man says. "A man goes where he pleases, doesn't he?" His stern look is more comical than intimidating, but you stop looking for answers. "You're welcome to join if you keep pace." "Keep pace," the old man puffs through his mustache. "No fleeter than old Unar. And husbands, mind your wives, I'm cursed with the golden tongue, not silver." The caravan enjoys a good laugh as they start moving once again. Hey, maybe he'll be good for morale. Lord knows this party always needs it. The Varl company didn't have that much trouble with morale, but the human one constantly does. So that's 3 consecutive chapters playing as a rook, which is a bit of a surprise. Maybe I had false expectations early on. I'm not surprised that Rook is kind of being contextualized as the leader or the main character of the game, because he's on the cover / start menu, and he's got a daughter for sympathy points and maybe even a potential love interest. So obviously focused, like he's the stereotypical main character. But the first 4 chapters follow a pattern of alternating between 2 groups, so you keep thinking that's going to be a split story, but I'm starting to wonder if we'll ever see Hakon ever again after him getting the first really long chapter of the game. He's just never been the main character again, and now we're on a 3rd consecutive Rook chapter. Unar, the quirky old man with the leather headband, says, "If there's one thing I know better than women and meat, it's, well," he smiles, "well, nothing. But I know when a group could use some help. Just nod and let old Unar make everything better. No questions now?" No questions? Well, we'd appreciate any help. That evening, Unar clears his throat and loudly recites a tale of travelers, ending with war and death behind them, seeking hope instead. They carried on with courage, using a heart and head. A strange poem, but the caravan is happy for a change of pace. Unar bows and turns to assist the cooks. The evening's meal is larger than ever, yet the supply wagons seem more full than before. You look to thank Unar, but he is gone. Is he a god? We just suddenly have supplies, as if by magic. I'm starting to wonder, is he actually a god? Because we say the gods are dead in this storyline, or our characters do, but then that serpent seemed to imply the gods aren't dead, they're only silent, as if they're planning something. And it seems like they have like a planned apocalypse, like this is all supposed to be Ragnarok, I mean. But there could be little characters here and there that are just oddly silent about the whole thing, or they're just kind of fooling around. It appears that large figures following from the direction of Einartoft. What? Okay, so I'm not crazy. That was actually a weird sentence, right? It appears that large figure is following from the direction of Einertoft. Yeah, that's just, it's missing words or something. So but there are some figures coming after us. Oddleaf watches intently before finally saying, "They have a cart. I can hear it." You slow to get a better view and spy a small caravan of varl. Eventually they catch up. Who's it gonna be? It's Ubin! Hey! The main character of one chapter of the protagonist. Of the prologue, basically. Greetings, Ivor. It's been quite a while since we talked, hasn't it? I know you. Ubin. Never imagined you to be one to defy the king. What made you leave? Someone had to. What do you mean? Ballard is heading this way. Already? How is that possible? A group of varl from Wormtoe showed up around the back of Einertoft, the long way. Ballard and his army chased them across the summer path, they said. Past Wormtoe? That doesn't make any sense. Ballard was at the bridge. He must have doubled back after that serpent appeared. While we fought on the bridge, he led half his forces around to approach Einertoft from behind. The attack on the bridge was a feint? Don't let anyone tell you the dredge aren't clever. Einertoft will fall within a day. Maybe. Maybe not. He's following you. I thought one of you might know why. You exchange nervous glances, but nobody speaks up. It must be me then. Is there something I don't know? That's quite a grudge he's holding if he's coming for you, Ivor. It doesn't matter. Our only chance is to get to Sigarholm. Juno will know what to do. We'll join you. I come bearing supplies and warriors who would be happy to kill a dredge or two, I believe. Even more supplies. I guess I don't have to worry about that then. We're up to 6 days after spending a few walking. Off to Sigarholm to chase the magical lady that must have, I don't know, magical solutions for all these things. We've never met her besides playing as her briefly, technically. The caravan stops at a split in the road. Ahead, the path leading to Sigarholm veers off into the hills, which are now swimming with familiar black shapes. Dredge that way too, grimaces Avend. The summer path leads straight to Sigarholm, while taking the main road will add several days. They're every way by now, replies Ubin. I suggest we go around, past Haukstorp. So we can send scouts to see how dangerous the path looks. I feel like that won't end well for them, the scouts. Just cut straight through the dredge, or try to go around. I mean, we're not on a suicide mission. We are one of the smallest groups that I've had so far. We should probably take the safest route we can if we can get away with it. We've been blessed with extra supplies, so we're gonna try going past Haukstorp. I hate to say it, you tell Avend, but I'm not willing to walk into swarms of dredge anymore. Juno will have to wait. You turn towards the long road, towards the long round around Haukstorp instead. The long round around. What? Supposed to say long road around? I'm not even sure. Hoping you've saved lives in the process. Hope things work out. Hey, we have 24 renown. That's building up quickly. Happy to see it, because dear lord, we were hurting, not able to really upgrade anyone. I see the little camp over here, so I'll let us arrive there. A gaunt man and woman approach the caravan, hands held high. A word of friends, the man says. We are poor farmers down on our luck. The woman hits him and says, we're outlaws, plain and simple. 10 of us, and we'll help you fight for some food up front. What are your crimes? Misunderstandings, the man says. Mead houses are confusing. Never know when you've drank your share. The woman hits him again and says, we've stolen, killed a few when we had to. Skills that might benefit you here. There's a fun gamble, huh? Wondering about whether or not you can get away with taking in extra troops at the cost of potential supplies. How much supplies, though? Are we going to lose, like, a day of supplies to take on 10 soldiers when we don't have that many to begin with? Then we don't even know if we can trust them. Ultimately, I think the idea of taking a big risk on supplies and bringing outlaws into the group, it just isn't worth it for 10 soldiers. I'm gonna send them away. We are so much more than... The man stops, as the woman glares at him. He nods and they shuffle away quietly. It takes until camp is set to notice that a few of your supplies have gone missing. What? They just took my supplies anyway. God damn it. We couldn't do anything about that? No one noticed that there was thieving outlaws? Oh well. You enter a village of miners who want to know what has been happening recently between the rumblings of the quake and the sightings of dredge in the distance. As you look around, you see a lot of elderly and children, and know that these people will only be more mouths to feed. Ah, still, leaving them behind to die is a bummer. We're trying to save people, aren't we? Otherwise, what's the point of going on these trips, because the dredge are just going to wipe everybody out. I'm going to encourage them to join me. You make a convincing argument about leaving town before the dredge sweep through, and do a fair job of convincing everybody to be completely terrified. They start packing. It remains to be seen whether you can keep them as safe as you say. 112 clansmen. The optimist in me thinks, hey, maybe we can turn them into soldiers, or some of them into soldiers, like how Oddleaf was dealing with the, training some of the women to become archers, for example. I'd love to rest, but we're doing so poorly. Let's visit the market, though? So what happens if I spend a renown? 1 renown gets 6, that's the best I've ever seen. But that's not enough to lead to a oh, most of the concurrent upgrades give us more days worth. It's just the first one that's not quite enough. Hey, that's the high armor one again. All these nice high level items that no one in my party can actually use except for the caster. 3 armor on rest, 2 to drawing aggro, plus 1 strength. Great for a tough tank character, which we kind of don't have. 1 will on a rest. It takes either a brave man or a stupid man to stop to drink. Yeah, we've had this on one of my crews before. It's a drinking flask. Plus 1 will on a rest means it would give you 2 will on a rest because you already get 1 by default. Ring of the Wolf is protects from dead unless strength is 1, or protects from death. I mean, so it stops you from dying unless they beat your strength all the way down. Interesting. Huh. Comb of the Loom Mother. Or Comb of the Loom Mother. -2 to drawing aggro. Could be really good for keeping a certain character safer. Like if you threw that, I could throw that onto somebody like a Rook. And they might be capable of running in close to keep doing mark prey to do devastating attacks without in turn also being attacked. Honestly though, I think the biggest benefit I can do right now is trying to heal characters. I mean, not heal characters, level up characters. Like Rook here is already ready for another promotion. It would cost me 15, unfortunately, though, so I'm hesitant. I feel like, since the promotions are only 2 skill points every single time, I'm a little hesitant to level somebody past 3 when so many other people are still down here. Like Ivor. I'll spend 10 on him. Especially if I can get somebody specifically to rank 3, because when you hit rank 3, you get your second version of your special skill, which is worthwhile. Alright. I kind of want to keep pumping up his strength, just because his, as a varl, he can get his strength higher than basically anyone else can. And he has a very high cap. So I think I might want to push even further in that direction. Yeah. Because all the various humans are getting better and better at breaking armor, but he's the one that can specifically go for strength. There we go, up to 16. I don't know how I had 2 points to spend. Did I level him up at some point and then not spend the points? Because that's concerning. Is there anyone else like that? Let's just click like crazy and see if... No, I don't see any pluses, so I don't think anyone has unspent points. I don't know how long he's been sitting without that leveled up then. Here's Krumer, our other varl. He'll only cost 5. Let's see. Could just keep, yeah, they're varl. The bonus strength is really handy. So I'll be happy to go for that. Let the various ranged characters focus on their ability to break armor and so on. We can't, yeah, we need one more renown to level up Alette. So we can't. It's so tragic. And is anyone else level 1, really? Not really. Ekkel and Onef are just sitting here in my list of characters. They seemed important to the story earlier, but then the giant war happened, and suddenly seem kind of background, don't they? All these items I can give to people. Chance of double damage. Should I throw that onto someone like Ivor? He's not even using an item right now. 15% chance of double damage. Conversely, it'd be interesting just to give him 1 strength, because it's more consistent. See, this character has 10% chance of double damage, so they both have those kind of items on them. It is tempting just to give them a flat damage bonus. Chance of dodging. Armor per turn. You're the only one that can use that, right? Because I'd love to put that on virtually anyone else, but it's not an option. Armor, strength, and willpower. Yeah. It's a really good item, which is why I wanted to keep it on her, but maybe it's a family gift, you know? Because Ivor was so helpful and helped them all out that Alette gave him her mother's bracelet to hold on to, and it's really meaningful to the story or something. Shut up. Just seems like a smarter thing to put on that character. More armor and strength for my hard to kill, high damaging character. Well, yes, I am trying to replace that Gonolf-shaped hole in my heart. Alright. The question right now is whether or not I want to spend some money on chance for double damage. I'll let that sit for now. Do I want to buy supplies before I leave? Is the big question right now. Those are like the best numbers I've ever seen. And we're really down. We could use the supplies. It's weird that I have to buy supplies from a guy when I apparently convinced everybody to come with us. I think I'll spend, so we're down to 5. That'll get us a few days at least. I'd love to rest, but damn. We have so few days of supplies that I'm concerned about that enough. I don't want to lose all of our days of supplies sitting around, and then we're all fat and happy as we get swarmed by dredge and starve. Look at that! Shouts one of your clansmen. The caravan stops to watch dredge pulling into the village you just passed through. I hope anyone who stayed behind got out alive, says a lad, but you have your doubts. They're coming, says Ivor, pointing out a line of dredge leaving the village and marching towards you. As you watch, the dredge in front falls over, then one behind falls as well. You hear a twang to your left. Nid, the archery student of Oddleaf's, who you recall deftly shooting a snow rabbit, is firing arrows down the hill. Another dredge topples. That's incredible, says Oddleaf, squinting. But we should get out of here. Wow. So she's actually really effective then, isn't she? You can go back to the village to look for survivors. At this point, they had their chance, frankly. Going back seems like a bad mistake. I kind of want to see her try a few more, though. That seems like an opportunity to improve morale, as watch one lady just obliterate a bunch of dredge from a really long distance. They should be far away, because Oddleaf says she's squinting. So we shouldn't be in immediate danger, so hold on. Let her do a few more. The next shot bounces off a dredge's armor, but the one after that doesn't, and the Colossus falls to a knee. Another dredge goes down before you get moving again. Why don't you come along next time you want to try out that bow? You tell Nid. Who nods, with a smile on her face. Hey, did we just get a new crew member? Oh. And very briefly we were happier for a second there, weren't we? I think that did improve morale for a second there. I think it was the neutral one for a moment there. I think we might have gotten a new crew member. Like a party member we can use, I mean. She does have a unique portrait, which is always a clue. A woman's stifled screams fail to overly concern anyone. It was only a matter of time before the expectant mother gave birth. The caravan is simply excited by the first sign of new life since the trip began. So we could so 500 people could stop to celebrate. Oh geez. No, like 700 people could stop to celebrate for one person's birth, which seems incredibly dangerous. With this many people, there could be a birth every day, practically, frankly. Well, there's probably not... depends on how many women there are in the first place. Let's just congratulate them. Let's not throw supplies away or be hasty here. We have 4 days of supplies, and everyone's about to die. You discreetly make your way to the family's tent amidst the cheerful clansmen. You give your most heartfelt congratulations to the parents, telling them how strong the baby looks. The mother cries, and the father thanks you repeatedly. Hey, that gave us bonus renown. That's nice. In fact, I think I'll use that. Let's take a moment to oh, there's Nid. I don't know if we've ever spoken. I'm Nid, your rook, I know. We've actually been traveling together for a long time. Isn't it strange how you can be so close to people and not know them? Every day I pass people I swear I've never seen before. I want to thank you for letting me join you. Have you always been such a good shot? Honestly, I never even tried before Oddleif made me. I spent my whole life making clothes, cleaning. Oddleif's good, but I don't think it was all her doing. It feels right. I just look where I want it to go. Anyway, I feel better. The caravan, the people worrying all day and making problems. Sometimes they really stew in their own misery. I'm glad I could do something helpful. Where are you from? I don't think you're from Skoger. I knew most of the people there. No, I had a house in Frostveller, but we were driven out when the dredge started to show up. My husband died trying to protect our home. My sons and I were thrown into the fields. I'm sorry. Eccles' men killed my husband. Now Eccles traveling with us. For a long time I was angry. Why did he get to live? Why did you decide for the rest of us? You look away momentarily, not sure what to say. But I've let it go. I have 3 sons, and I don't want them to grow up with hatred in their hearts. That's why I wanted to thank you. You're welcome. I should be going. Don't think anything of it. We all have our own problems to deal with. Let me know if you need me to put an arrow in something. She returns to her tent where her boys are waiting for her. There we go. New character. Now let's see if we can get her tragically killed like everyone else. Our crew is growing. Very human heavy though. I do miss my varl army that would just clobber everything. So how does she work? She has birds of prey. The bowmaster uses her longbow to shoot further than other less experienced archers, and she always hits her mark. Bird of prey makes it possible for her to strike units before they are able to get in attack range, and allows her passive, puncture, to be used against more enemies who may have been out of sight from normal shot. So she can apply +2, +3, and +4 range with a guaranteed hit chance. That actually could really come in handy. Puncture is by standing still, the archer is able to line up a shot that takes advantage of an enemy's missing armor, doing bonus damage. That was actually set up by the little description of the story that happened back there, where she was very specifically, she would weaken the armor and then she would take them down in one hit after that. And when she was firing at the dredge, the Colossus. For every 2 points of armor her target has lost, the archer gains 1 additional strength to her attack, as long as she didn't move beforehand. This makes her especially deadly near the end of a fight or against tough opponents who have lost a lot of armor. Just remember not to move, giving the archer time to line up her shot. So she kind of works like a sniper in XCOM. If you keep her standing still, she can do bonus damage to weakened targets and just wipe them right out. And there's Birds of Prey gives her bonus range, which makes it more likely that she can fire a shot without having to move. I think I'm going to want to keep her around. Anything fun to give her? Don't have any more bonus strength items. Oh, I'm missing one. That's a bummer. I liked my second one. I wonder if I didn't spend my renown the same way when I had to go back. Either way, let's see. Can I upgrade Krumer? I can. Get that strength up. That scary strength. Now these two are going to flatten things. That'll be fun. Do I have a fun new option? Because of the fact that I have a level 3 now? Oh yeah, chance of double damage. Yeah, we'll go for that one. There we go. We finally had renown to spend on all these characters that have been waiting for an upgrade for ages. Let's get the hell out of here. We're not here to rest. I just wanted to primarily spend all that renown we've been getting, because so many people are waiting for an upgrade. Over 100 days in now. Found our way to another godstone. Oh, weird. These two fragments out front are going to line up with the back one. What an odd little moment, huh? We're not going to stop? Weird. Look at that, though. Oh, we're stopping right in time for them to line up. That was intentional. The Godstone of Dundur passes around you. In the frozen climates here, it looks like the rock has split and is falling apart, held together only by the deep snow. Curiously, when standing between the stones, the wind drops off completely, picking up once again once you've passed through. I almost wonder if we should rest here for the night, says Ivor, who seems to have noticed the same thing. With all the snow around it, Dredge might not even be able to find us. So you can choose to rest here overnight to potentially recover. It does seem like a warning. It seems like such a discreet location to potentially rest at, like it's set up that way. I'm gonna take this as a sign. Let's stay here. Hopefully it pays off. You walk around camp before settling in. Along each strand of Dundur's massive beard is carved a different part of his story, and you turn your head to and fro to read it. While the Loom Mother was the first to create, she soon found a counterpart in Dundur, who embodied her ideals in a masculine form. Dundur took some of her creations, gave them beards, and showed them the secrets of smithing, though many remember him just as fondly for teaching them games and songs of mirth. As the camp settles in, you notice a group of boys huddled around something. They show you an offering box carved into the godstone itself. The box is an elaborate construction of interlocking pieces, which slide around when touched. We can't get it open, they tell you. It's like a puzzle. Then let's try to open it. Maybe Rook's clever, right? The boys take turns working out the puzzle and give you tips when it's your turn, though you don't seem to make much progress. Eventually they leave to sleep, until it's just you and a couple other determined youngsters. So we can obsess over it or give up and go to sleep. Huh. I mean, how many people have passed by this thing? Is Rook particularly smart? At some point, am I at a risk of just not being ready later? We have 2 days of supplies and battles ahead of us, so maybe we should be careful about this and just go to sleep and not get distracted too heavily. Instead of spending all night on a silly game, you go to Alette and huddle together to keep warm. You wake up with a thought so profound it strikes you like lightning. Rushing to the puzzle box, your fingers moving with purpose until you hear a click. The lid springs open. Wow. It's just like when I get stuck on a puzzle in something like Talos Principle, then come back hours or days later and suddenly, oh, that was no big deal. Inside is nothing. Oh no, says a boy who was watching. What a waste of time. To your surprise, when you close the lid, the whole box detaches from the stone. With a shrug, you take it with you. You're suddenly glad you didn't spend all night working on this. So it's empty. It's an item, though. Oh well. It doesn't matter who's using it right now, because you can apply items. You can go ahead and just apply items before fights start, so we'll just wait till then. But I'm curious. That was purple, so it's got to be a high-quality item, right? Oh, we're leaving the snow. The sounds of skirmish alert you to a varl surrounded by a half-dozen armed fighters. One man spots you and shouts, "Leave us to our business. This varl killed our father without reason." The varl is about to respond when the man attacks. The giant swats the blade aside and silently watches you for the next assault. Ah, Jesus. Let us hear what the varl has to say. The varl shrugs, as if unconcerned, saying, "This one's father and I had a business deal. He lied. Now he's dead." "Lies," shouts the man. "You murdered him over a lie, you coward?" The men wildly attack the varl, who deflects them well enough, but you're uncertain how long he can keep it up. Well, crap. I mean, he did kill I'm gonna say ultimately murder over a business deal is probably not acceptable. But, among other things, I'm kind of feeling like Geralt of Rivia right now and largely uninterested in the private matters of some of these people. So we're just gonna let them settle their own issue. I'm wondering how we keep sneaking up on people in the middle of a conflict when we're a giant army of like 700 people. It's a weirdly reoccurring storyline. We're not a random party of adventurers, we're a giant army and we just walk up on like people having sword fights in the middle of the road. You quickly decide this minor scuffle between man and varl is not worth the caravan's precious time and none of your business. Besides, your warriors return with you, and some more reluctant than others. 5 more renown. We're actually starting to get a lot of events to give us renown, so we can actually try to promote these characters when a lot of them need it. Oh, there it goes. That's us starving. We're all out of supplies. In the distance, Haukstorp smolders like an old campfire. Even from here, you can see black figures shambling through it. That looks like a dead town, remarks Ivor, confirming your impressions. There's usually survivors, Oddleif reminds you. An entire town filled with black figures, and we're running out of supplies. I don't know if it's worth stopping, honestly. It seems like we're in real big trouble right about now. I think I'm gonna side with Ivor on this one. There's the vague hint that there could be someone down there, which is tragic, but it's already an overrun town, and we're already scrambling to keep our own people alive, and seeking others that we can actually meet up with, and going into a completely destroyed location because there might be someone hiding out in a cellar somewhere seems a little extreme. There's an army that's overrun that place. That's how the dredge work. There's no time. Keep moving. We've had enough problems for one lifetime, you say. We don't need to go looking for them. Probably the best decision. The better decision, replies Ivor. Sorry, Haukstorp, but you're a mess already. We shouldn't be actively looking for reasons for more people to die. But we are starving. Fuck. A group of men with broad shoulders and thick cloaks approach the caravan. They might be outlaws, you hear nearby, and the idea quickly ripples through the clansmen. What are they going to do, steal our supplies we don't have? One of the strangers approaches, saying, We've run out of food. Any help would be welcome. His hard eyes reveal nothing of his motivations. I don't have any food. You consider how do you want to approach this. So... someone said they might be outlaws, but they themselves have not given off any reason to think that, besides the person randomly saying that about anyone they encounter on the street. We can inform them of the dredge, ask them how they came to be here, ask them to join us to earn their food, decline to help strangers, or offer them a few days worth of supplies. First of all, what even happens if I click on that one? Because I don't have supplies at all. Fight with us and earn your food. The men look surprised by your offer. In short order, they join the caravan and start sharing tales and drinks. Unfortunately, it is less than a day later that you discover they vanished along with a sizable portion of your supplies. What supplies? I don't have supplies for them to take. It's kind of weird the story, that there's little plot points happening in the story where they don't reflect that. Oh hey, another godstone. That was fast. It's strange that the random... I think those are random events in many cases. It's weird that they don't reflect the fact that you don't have supplies with the decisions there. Someone wants to steal our supplies. Good luck, buddy. We got nothing. We just got 700 starving people right now. The godstone for Ingrid, goddess of knowledge. Does your knowledge know where we can find food around here? Looks on as a caravan takes a much-needed rest. Ivor shoos some children away from a solitary dredge slinger lying dead beneath the stone. Should we be worried about that? You ask Ivor, pointing to the dredged body. I don't think so, he replies. Still, couldn't hurt to have a few guards look around. Hours pass without warning. We can either inspect the godstone or leave. We'll always inspect the godstone. I don't think there's ever a downside. Ingrid's godstone is carved with ancient runes which don't make much sense to you, though Avon tells you some of the menders have deciphered them. It's how the menders learned the language of the gods, past the largest stone, a long series of slabs contain more writing all the way down the hill. The odd thing, he tells you, is that the writing occasionally changes depending on who is reading it. Usually, it describes the history of the gods, but it can be about nearly any topic. Sadly, Avon doesn't know how to read it. Himself, Juno could, he says. Well, then we're going to move on, because we don't have Juno. As you're ready to depart, you hear screams from near the main godstone. The same boys so curious about the dead dredge before are shrieking and pointing. For a moment you think it must not have been dead, but then you see that they have opened a wrapping that was in the dredge's hands. Wait, says Ivor, his arm across your chest. This shouldn't be seen. Get everyone away. A chill sweeps over you. Alette pushes past and gasps. Stop! Shouts Ivor, but the curious onlookers have already seen it. What the hell is it? Leave it. On the ground before the dead slinger is a small stony figure, its hands searching for something it can't find. That's a baby. That dredge is a woman? We've been killing women. We've been slaughtering women and children this whole time? Leaving them to die? In a war, it's only the males who fight. We've been fighting these dredge the whole way. Why are women with children on their backs attacking us? They're not invading, they're running. Everyone stops dead in their tracks. The entire caravan is gathered around, aghast. When I spoke to Juno, she told me something was coming. She didn't know what. This makes sense, by the way. If the dredge are all fleeing from the north because of the darkness, then we're just dealing with their entire population. We could be fighting women that have children that they're carrying around. A darkness. Something black is covering the world, and the dredge are running from it, just as we're running from them. The serpent, the quake, it's all the beginning of the end. Ivor, you knew? Why? Why didn't you say something? Ivor? When I was young, I killed one of the Sundar during the Second Great War. We called it rays. Every time we could build our defenses, it would flatten them and push us back again. I became separated from the rest of the varl and stumbled upon rays deep in a snowstorm alone. She was nursing. Oh man, there's some context that got dark fast. I threw my axe. It twisted in the wind. Her son died in her arms. She was so pathetic, kneeling in the snow. She didn't even try to stop me when I took her head. That's how I killed the Sundar. When I found my way to Grofheim, the varl wanted to make me Kender, next to be king. I left. Walked until I ended up in Skogar, where no one knew what I had done. The only sound is the wind blowing through the trees. Well, there's some darkness right there. Damn. So the reason why Ivor exiled himself was from guilt when he accidentally executed a child of the enemy force. Children that seemingly our people don't even know exist. We barely can even tell that these things are sentient. But they actually have babies and they nurse and they have a whole society that we just don't understand. I wonder if the second or third game is going to be what focuses on that. Well, I guess there's still like a chapter or a chapter and a half left of this one, so who knows. For a long time, nobody says a thing until a child breaks the silence. What do we do with the baby? She asks. A lump forms in your throat, looking at the small obsidian creature squirming before you. Oh, man. So we can either leave it behind to die, put it to a vote, or insist on taking it with us. I don't know, it just seems cruel to leave a baby to die. Maybe we'll end up in a weird... what was the name of that Borg? Was it 7 of 9, I want to say? One where you start raising a member of the other species that you're fighting against and you start realizing that there may be a way to find peace somehow. I'm going to take it with us. You argue strongly for showing mercy and humanity. Some of the women in the caravan hesitantly agree to take in the dredge infant, while others are furious about bringing it along. Not long afterwards, one of the women comes to you. Its swaddling was being held by this, she says, giving you a hairpin that looks distinctly undredge-like. An inscription on the silver looks, almost slips your notice. Persevere. From the goddess herself, if you ask me, the woman tells you. The Vadran silver brooch. We have 2 items to investigate now. That one was blue quality. Well, damn. Makes sense to go to the intelligence, or knowledge, or wisdom, or whatever specific word they applied to that that stone, and have that be the place where we find out about the dredge. Turns out that these godstones have a funny tendency to be thematically resonant with the storytelling that's happening. You're making the usual rounds when you hear a rather loud debate coming from the area that the varl have gathered. Ivor joins you as you approach. Drama time? Oh, it's Krumer. Ubin, you'd rather be known for falling asleep and dying in the corner of a mead house than battling a Sundar. No, I'd rather be known for not dying. Don't even know what you're worried about. I did this 100 times in the Great Wars. Take some warriors, plow headfirst into the dredge. They'll follow you into the hills, get lost. Now they're not following you. When you did this 100 times, did you have a bellower leading them? Have you never heard about the time I hit a bellower in the head with a throwing axe? What's this about? Careful, my friend. A lot of old history getting thrown around here. The warriors were just nothing. That's... What the hell? What? The warriors were just noting that there's a damn good number of dredge on our asses. Bellower pulling up the rear. This one thinks he can just wander up there and throw them off our tracks. How about some gratitude? Thought you'd be happy to finally be the oldest varl in the land, Ubin. Oh, is Krumer... Oh, was Krumer specifically the character Ubin mentioned, being one of the only characters that's older than him? That was a list of names I've forgotten with time. That was pretty early on. I'm never happy to lose one more varl, Krumer. Besides, I'm not convinced you're really older than me. Old rivalry you've got here. Comments like that remind me, I've already wasted too much time doing nothing. In the old days, I'd already be halfway to the battlefield by now. Speaking of which, you coming, Ingvar? You could ask Bellower for your arm back. Don't think so. Not exactly in the mood right now. Alright then. I'll tell Harderborg you said hello. Krumer and a good many varl warriors head out towards the growing army of dredge. Well, just like that we lose Krumer. Shit. Is he going to die? Because that'd be a bummer. I just invested in him, damn it. Stop taking all my characters. Is he going to come back? He always has before. Well, yeah, thank you. But this time feels different, I fear. Yeah, he's never died before, so of course he won't die now. That's how dying works, right? Nailed it. So we may have lost another hero. We're down to... Oh! I was about to say how many varl are left, and then it became 5. We are starving out. We don't have supplies. Oh. While walking, the words of a mother's song reach you. It's soothing, nuanced, and about your current journey. When she finishes, a man begins a tale of his own in verse. The woman quickly responds with another poem, and the entire caravan slows to listen to the entertaining competition. So we can cheer the competitors along, which would be great for morale, I'm sure. Maybe even renown. I'm starting to think that renown specifically gets awarded based on your public interactions with things. So it's your fame. You have big kingly moments, and that helps give you more renown, I think. Or we're gonna be warning. We could be a buzzkill about this whole thing. Ignore the entire thing and just try to watch out for danger. Or join in with a verse of your own. There's your chance. Try to be a charismatic leader. try to help with the horrifyingly down renown, so we're gonna join in. The whole caravan is shocked when the first line of your poem rings out. You mimic both contestants, adding your own spin on their tales. At last, you end with a joke at your own expense, and the peasants wildly applaud. Hey, weak morale for a moment. No renown, unfortunately, but morale slightly improved. Woo! And we have a whole 5 varl left. Oh, look, welcome back. Gather around, doubters, echoes a shout in the distance as Krumer and his band of warriors break through nearby foliage. And behold the invincible varl. The caravan is thrilled to see Krumer return safely. Hey, we're all the way up to neutral somehow. That seems impossible, but why not? All the varl are back. Did the plan work? Asks Zubin. Work? Responds Krumer. Of course it worked. Same old dredge. Should be another day or two at least before they even find their own asses. Oh, 20 renown. Dear Lord, well that's handy. And if you apologize, I'll tell you how I found these, Krumer says, tossing you a pair of leather gloves that look big enough for a varl. He leans in close, whispering so Ubin can't hear. Had something to do with a raven's nest and a hair tie. Whoa, just like that, 3 new items. We've gotten 3 new items in a relatively brief amount of time.
As Sigarholm approaches, we fear the worst. The once calm lake surrounding it now looks like a bowl that has been flipped. Proud home sinking into muddy water. A side effect of the quake. What has the rest of the world become on the other side of those mountains?
So the quakes are taking their impact. It's something to worry about. But at least we've made our way in. Maybe we'll finally get a chance to get some more supplies before, you know, everyone starves to death. I partly expect the banner to get shorter over time, as if it's our health bar. One catastrophe to another, says Aldleif as you pull into Sigarholm. The town appears to be sinking into the lake. Townspeople peek from dark windows and makeshift hovels further up the hill. No, says Eyvind, looking frantic. Where is she? He runs to the front of the caravan, looking out over the water. Juno isn't here, and you get the creeping feeling you're not welcome either. Going upriver looks out of the question. The beach is bare, aside from the occasional skeleton of a ruined fishing boat. You reluctantly set up camp in the sinking town. Uh-oh, what kind of mess are we getting ourselves into here? All I'm saying is, how long are you willing to wait? While taking stock of caravan, you've inadvertently walked into a debate between Aldleif and Eyvind. As long as we need to. And I think we need to get out of here. I don't feel good about this place. Why? What's wrong? Something doesn't feel right. The people here are staring at us like those vultures in the wastes. I'm sorry, Eyvind. I think Aldleif is right. I saw a man the whole time we were setting up. He was just watching me. In a creepy way. And how long before the dredge find us here? Juno will come. Just give it a little more time. Rook, listen to me. I need you to trust me on this. It's hard not to think, hey, this is the entire reason why we came here, so the idea of leaving early without our goal is a little rough. I'm wondering, we're along a river. Can we get food here? I doubt it. Yeah, I doubt it. They say the town is sinking from the quake. The river looks frozen. And the fact that everyone's eyeing us as if they want to take something from us makes me think that they probably don't really have food. We may be in hard times. Because I was thinking, like, maybe we could wait here if we could scavenge for food while we're here and maintain ourselves. But it seems like that may not be the case. And there is a very real risk that the dredge will close in over time.